Hey there, it's another episode of The Robin Show. And today I have some pretty cool questions that have come up. And with everything going on in the world, I'm not too surprised with them. But I'm just reading the energy and only the energy. I'm not saying these are physical reasons or physical things. I'm just saying it's the energy. So let's get to it. The first question is, why did COVID happen? This one's really interesting to me when I tap into it because COVID really, the energy of COVID coming and, coronavirus is that it deeply is associated with change. And the reason why it happened was because everyone has signed up for their time on this earth, what happens when they're going to exit, how they're going to exit, what's going on, and all those varieties. But with COVID, it has brought a lot of energy into people saying, that's not really working for me. And I really don't want to work for the man, meaning other things other than themselves. So there's been a lot of people from the COVID energy that has really brought them into honoring who they are, what they want in life, what's sacred to them, what's important to them. And then there's the aspect of some people, because I know it has affected the older generation much more, they were just kind of done with the vibration on earth. And I don't say that lightly because my human self really feels the energy around this. But from a divine energy, from an energetics perspective beyond that, they were just like, I'm out. Like, I'm good. I really am okay with not being here anymore, because some of the transitioning energy we're going through, which I'll get to that question in a minute, COVID was a part of it that kind of started that energy to transition for us to understand this is who I am, this is what I want, this is what's going on. And that energy happened because we really were desiring something different. We were desiring to live in a world where we weren't controlled by other energies and other people and other things, and that we started to take it into our own hands. Now, it kind of works like a pendulum though, because then COVID in some ways has created a controlling energy in a different way. Like, there's so many aspects, from wearing a mask to getting vaccines to not being able to be open for business to having curfews. And then it has stored up a whole lot of energy. So, we had energies like Black Lives Matter and the energy around people standing up and saying, hey, we're not going to be tolerating this type of repressive energy. So COVID really brought to light like us standing up for ourselves and whatever our belief is, and not having a tolerance anymore, like we're sick of being tolerated, that we have to tolerate this repressive energy. So in a lot of ways, it's helped us to honor saying, I am ready to say who I am, be treated respectfully across the board no matter what, and I want to be me and seen for me. And COVID energy is what brought that in. So there's some perspectives of it that are very powerful and very healing, and could have only happened in this time frame with all the energy around it. And there's other aspects that is really sad, because whenever there's loss and there's death, there's always going to be that human aspect where there is sadness. And even if that loss isn't just human life dying, but your business, losing your business or losing connections with people that you strongly had, I can see how all of that could be extremely challenging for all of us. Now, the other thing I see here is, what is the fastest way for us to recover from the fallout of COVID? And this is a great backup question to the other one. The fastest way for us to recover is to honor exactly who we are and be our authentic 100% self without any thoughts about it, without any cares about like who's looking at me and saying, I like that, I don't like that. That's where we get into trouble, is when we fall into thinking we know what someone else thinks about us and having some judgment on ourselves. So the fastest way to recover is to honor and say, I stand up for myself and who I am. And also, I stand up for humanity. I stand up for all of us being treated in a very, humane way, where we're all, I don't really like the word equal, but it's more that we're all in this energetic vibrational field and we're seen for who we are, and that those uniqueness of us is honored by others. And it doesn't really matter if our human ego side or that approves or disapproves or likes it or hates it or wants it. It doesn't matter. It's just that it's like, okay, I honor that this is who you are, And I'm not going to outwardly judge that. I'm not going to be like, oh, I have a judgment or thought about that or a critique about that. So the fastest way for us to recover is to say we honor our uniqueness of who we are and the uniqueness of others. And that's where the power starts to come back into us as humans, and our divine energy starts to shine through, because divine energy is love and is understanding and compassion, and it's, you know, being bold, and it's being like who you are. It's all the capacities of being divine. So the fastest way to recover is to honor all of us, and also to take care of each other, meaning that we love and support each other. And we look at the ways that we can take care of each other versus saying, well, I want my stuff so bad, and I want that I'm not going to look out for other people and have compassion and empathy for them. That's the way to recover from this quickly. It's energy. It's only energy. I've seen COVID energy. I've seen the essence of it. I know that the essence of COVID left the planet quite a while ago. We're just still in the fallout. So in the fallout of that energy being here, it's all about also adding on to this about breathing as well. Like, I was doing some lives back, and I believe it was August, and I could see even the energy of the trees were struggling to breathe. They just want to breathe. And the vibration of the center of the earth had shifted. And so the trees were struggling, and we were struggling because of it. And this breathing energy has been really all of 2020. And now we're moving into 2021. And I feel like it's still kind of there. And it does get better. It does really get better. But the thing about it is that we have to say, I am excited to be alive. I want to breathe in my life. I want to be my life. I want to be myself, because that's how we get breath. That's how we understand the essence, is by like true ownership. I am divinely made. I am a human. I am experiencing this human life, and I breathe in my life beautifully. I enjoy every moment, and every breath that I take is powerful and meaningful to me. That's how we recover from this, is moving into that energy. And there's another question I have that follows up to this, which is kind of interesting. It's, will we ever be happy? Well, perception, again, as you've seen in many of my videos, perception is key here. There's a perception about happiness, right? To one person is one happiness, and to others something else. Because some of us, we only see in our mind what we want for happiness. Again, this also comes back to judgment. I'll never forget someone one time, they were telling me how they felt bad for the people that the greeters that are at like big stores, you know. And those greeters are like, oh my gosh, like, could you imagine being older? And they really had this heavy energy around them. And I thought to myself, you don't really know the life of that greeter. And maybe like they're fine financially or not. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe that's the way they actually get out, and they get to smile, and they get to see people and have some interaction with people. So I guess what I'm saying is that there might be people doing jobs you don't understand. There might be energy around stuff, and you have a certain feeling about it or a thought about it, but you don't know, is that person happy or not? You don't know that. Now, you can always tell by their vibrations and who they are, and people that are smiling and happy and people that aren't. But there's always a thing that, will we ever be happy? That question, it's more of asking, what do you want to come inside of you and share of your own happiness? And when you look outward to others, what part of your happy energy would you want others to see and feel and experience? And sharing happiness with them is what helps them to elevate happiness as well. Sharing love, sharing kindness, sharing food, sharing all those things, that's how it brings in happiness. But you sharing those things when you're in a place to share them, I will tell you from an energy perspective, if you're like, well, I'm going to go do this for someone else because that's how I feel better, or and you have that heavy withdrawn energy, like if you're like, well, I got to do this because someone told me to, or this is the way you do it, and you have that, don't do it. Don't even spread that energy. Don't even give that vibration to others. Do it when there's joy in your heart. Do it when you're happy to do it, because that's how you spread happiness. And if you're struggling where you feel like you need to do something, but you don't know how to get out of your own head of not being able to be happy, of being sad or depressed or anxious, and these other emotions and stuff are controlling you, you have to say, okay, Let me come into the vibration of who I am. Let me come inward. Because these things are usually outward that stimulate them. But our mind does play significant parts here, when, especially with anxiety and depression. Coming into your mind and just remembering a happy moment. Come into that energy of happiness and feeling it and knowing it, and let that energy really simmer in you. And then think about what you would want to do and do it from that place of energy instead. That's how you shift it. And if you're not able to do that, reach out to support from people, because a lot of people want to help and support each other right now. And this is a beautiful time for us to all really help each other. All right, well, I will see you on the next episode, and I am so loving being in your space. So subscribe, like the video, share the channel, please. And if you want to submit a question, you can go to therobinshow.com. Take care.